It's recording right now. So we are live, you and I, on any platform that we're going to post this on. And one of the things that I want to do is to introduce this gentleman right here. His name is Luis Rivas, a real estate investor. And we are in Calgary. You may know that I'm from Toronto, but you may not know that Luis Rivas is from
Ottawa.
From Ottawa,
Canada.
Canada. Exactly. Because guess what? I'm posting this on LinkedIn, and I have friends across the world from my previous life. I have had people, I've met people in Brazil, I've met people in South America, Central America, Southeast Asia.
So cool.
I don't think the people in China are watching this, but I'm sure the people in India and Southeast Asia would watch this.
Nice.
This guy, he's in real estate. I've met him. You may all know that I'm in the real estate investing world now. And we are in Calgary. Calgary. So he's from Ottawa. I'm from Toronto. So we're like almost 3,000 miles away, maybe 2,000 miles away from our hometown, because we're going to go into an event where we're going to educate people how to get started in real estate investing,
That's right.
even without your own money. He's a head coach. I hope that you can read what he's saying here. See, I don't know, there's like a mirror image. Do you think it's going to show up as a mirror image in the video, Luis?
I think it should flip. I think it should be.
I hope it does, but if not, it says wealth genius. You know what? I'm going to share this with you. I was wearing my pin on my suit.
Okay.
It said wealth genius, and the flight attendant, she looked at my pin and she says, wealth genius, I need those two. I need wealth and I need to be a genius.
Doesn't everybody else?
So here's what's fun about this. We're here about this. And you're gonna hear about Luis in a minute. We're here on this event, but this is also the place where my sister and I, after I got educated and coached about real estate investing, this is in Calgary, is where we got our first investment property ever. And we're gonna go and see it.
I can't wait.
And we're gonna film it, and I'm gonna share it with you.
That's exciting.
So we're gonna do this right now. But right now we're taking advantage. We just got back into Calgary, and we decided to try their pizzas. What do you think about the pizza?
The pizza was great. The company was great. The ambiance is nice. The music is it's like happy, you know?
Yeah, it's happy. You know what? I'm introducing you to Luis. I want you to learn more about Luis. Luis is a real estate investor, but there's more to him than that. So please.
Where do I start, man? Like I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a mammal.
I'm a mama.
I mean, I'm a real estate coach, and I coach. I have
Head coach.
head coach of Wealth Genius, and I have a lot of students. But I like to pride myself on something very close to your heart, which is the mindset piece. And I've really been preaching to my students that it's so important to get your life right, so that real estate can plug into it. A lot of people come to us and they want to become rich and make real estate fix their life. It's kind of like the tail wagging the dog.
Yeah.
So the mindset piece is key, and I also talk a lot about heart because I feel like the heart controls the brain. You know, when people hear the word mindset, they think brain and brain waves and your head. But is it more than just the brain? I think it's the mindset is like it's a collective. What do you think?
I mean, 100%. I think you nailed the head. You hit the nail right on the head,
Mm.
right there when you said that it's like the mind, like it's. I almost forgot.
It's more than just the brain.
Absolutely. In fact, yesterday I had a webinar about that.
Oh, okay.
And I asked everybody, if I ask you to think of your mind, how many of you think about the brain? And then I asked everybody to put it on the chat. This was on Zoom.
I heard the webinar went really well.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. And there was a whole bunch of people that put brain, 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 brain. And then I told everybody, guess what? The mind is not the brain.
Ooh, so we're really
We're connected. But it's important because I heard this from my mentor. When I heard this from a mentor the first time, I was the first one to raise my hand and I said, yeah, it's the brain, but the mind is not the brain. The brain is an organ, okay? A marvelous organ. Okay, it's like a computer, it's an electronic switching station. But here's what made the difference to me. The mind is an activity.
Hmm. I like that.
The mind is not a brain. It's an activity.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to speak beyond this, but I will tell you, I'm going to give you a little gem that you can take for later study.
Okay.
There's only one mind. It's a hard pill to swallow, but there's only one mind.
Like in the universe?
Think about this. Think about this. You are sitting down right here in Toronto, right?
Calgary.
In Calgary. We're in Calgary. And you're talking to your brother who may be in California.
Mm.
Okay? Or in Toronto.
Mm.
There's a couple of hours in difference.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sitting by the sun and you're enjoying the sun and you're saying, I'm here sitting by the sun. What are you doing? Oh, I'm here sitting by the sun too.
Same sun.
It's the same sun.
Oh, jeez. The same sun shines on us all, bro.
You know what? Bob Proctor, who's my mentor in when it comes to mindset.
I met him once.
You met him and you showed me a picture.
Yeah.
He said that. But
did he tell you that he met me? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Go on. He said mindset is one.
His intention was to draw an analogy on the mind when he said that there's only one mind. Mm. It's going to take a long time for anyone who has heard this for the first time to get a grasp on it. Mm. Okay? It certainly took me a very long time to get a grasp on it. There is only one mind. Mm. But the point is here that here we are, two real estate investor people, two individuals who decided to create generational wealth through real estate. How did we come about this? We came about this from learning from successful people. We decided to learn about what do successful people do. So, what are the books that successful people read when...
I don't know, man. Do they even read? Like, my question would be like, what do successful people feel? Like, how do they feel on a regular basis? are they like this, like us, like, oh my god, I'm sad, oh my god, I'm happy, or are they just like, yeah, we're good to go, let's LFG, right? Let's freaking go. Like, are they reading? Maybe. Are they just doing? I just,
Oh my God, yes.
I don't know. Like, I think it's just like they're feeling some sort of vibration. Like they cracked the code. They said, well, I read enough books, and now it's action time, and I'm just gonna focus on feeling good all the time.
Okay, they're not thinking, they're not reading, they're doing.
They're feeling,
That is the that is the key. Doing
doing, action.
action.
I choose to feel good.
You know, I pointed to this name right here, which you may be looking at it from a mirror perspective.
It might be inversed. Yeah.
A wealth genius. Maybe when I edit this, I will revert it.
It would be
I think I will
nice
do
of
that.
you. It would be nice of
Yeah, I will do that. But
you.
wealth genius is about action.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
in the philosophy about wealth genius, it talks about mindset, about knowledge, and about action. So, mindset, what is mindset in your view from the perspective of wealth genius?
Whoa. What is mindset? That's a tough question.
Okay, you want me to start?
Well, because like, like, are we saying well genius like the membership, or are we saying well genius the corporate, or are we saying like all
Okay,
everything?
well, that's a good question.
Let's frame it.
Okay.
Let's put a
When you look,
parameter.
when you open up a wealth genius workbook,
Mm.
okay, on the first page and on page number 17, I think it is, or 16, you will see that it says wealth genius philosophy, mindset, knowledge, and action. So that's what I meant when I said what is mindset to you from the perspective of wealth genius. Because I can tell you right now what mindset means from my perspective, but I want to hear your perspective.
Well, from my perspective, because this has been my experience since I've been here at Well Genius, is the very first boot camp. I was at the very first boot camp,
Mm.
like many years ago.
Well, let me interrupt you here for a minute. Alfonso Cuadra is the CEO of Wealth Genius. So you've been with Alfonso Cuadra for way more than that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so let's go back to the fact that to Wealth Genius in itself.
Like from the inception of Well Genius.
Well, with from what you just said that you were with Wealth Genius from the first boot camp.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely evolved, and I can't help but think about like the whole mindset thing about how it's like one mind, and Well Genius is kind of growing.
What I just said.
Yeah,
one
what
mind.
you said, right? Like Well
Yeah.
Genius, if I compare and I put a parameter around Well Genius and how it could be like one mind, Well Genius is expanding, similar to what some physicists say the universe is expanding organically and in every direction and in every type of gender or financial. Everybody's basically impacted by this now, and it's kind of like it's kind of leading now. It's kind of like, yes, we are figureheads at the company, but it's a collective now,
I mean, Wealth Genius is growing amazingly.
right?
Like it went from A couple of years ago, it was just 100 members, and now it's
Over 1,000
over 1,000
members.
members.
Yeah.
So here's what I think about the mindset portion
Please,
of
please,
Wealth
please, please.
Genius. Okay, first of all, it takes it takes fear. Okay, people are fearful
Yeah.
of investing. What is it like? $25,000 on education or coaching?
No, it's not that much.
Let's put it at $25,000. Okay, just to set the bar a little bit
Okay.
higher. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
$25,000 for transactions and for wealth that could be worth millions of
Millions
dollars.
and millions of dollars.
Or we're talking about taking risks and probably even preventing losing tens of thousands of dollars in a single transaction. Okay, so, but to sign up for something like Wealth Genius, it's a few, it's tens of thousands of dollars.
Well, let's
Okay,
let's not
tens of
say
thousands of
let's not say
dollars.
it's signing up. Let's say like we make a decision to accept that we're worthy enough to invest X amount of dollars, that whatever that is, to become better at acquiring wealth.
Right. So you have to make that first decision.
Yes.
But then now you're in it. Okay, you've made the investment, now you're getting the knowledge and you're getting the training, you're getting the coaching. And now it's time for you to get out there
and transact.
and do the transactions, do the like put in the offers, right? Talk to the mortgage brokers, talk to the realtors, talk to everybody, talk to the sellers, negotiate, learn how to raise capital.
Get comfortable getting uncomfortable.
Every single thing that I just told you
is a big
is
step.
fear.
It is fear.
It fills you up with so much fear. And you know, normally everybody will stop at the moment of fear, right? Like when it's time for me to do something that makes me feel uncomfortable, I'm not gonna do it, right? And most people are living underneath their potential only because of that, right? So we join this program, we want to make generational wealth in real estate, and then all of a sudden it's time to go out there and do negotiation and start to make transactions or even negotiation with very big deals. Like, okay, what's a big deal for you?
100 units in
100
Saskatchewan.
units? He's talking about my deal. You know, I went from being scared of acquiring 6 units and terrified of raising capital to putting 100 units in the contract
Mm-hmm.
and raising what? $4 million
Yeah.
for that project. And then I realized it was all about mindset. So here's the point. You got to deal with fear factors. You got to deal with things that make you uncomfortable, right? That's the mindset part. So when I talk about Wealth Genius having this philosophy of mindset, knowledge, and action, you got to deal with that mindset part. You got to be willing to be uncomfortable. You got to be willing to do what it takes. You have to be willing to take action despite of the fears that you are having. But of course, you need the knowledge. So this is the mindset portion, but you need the knowledge. What is the knowledge? The knowledge is
It's the logic, it's the technical, like it's the jargon, it's like the lingo, it's having a conversation with realtors,
well. Let's talk about that.
agents, owners.
Commercial mortgages.
Mm.
What is the difference between commercial mortgages and residential mortgages?
Well, it's the number of units. Anything over 6, 7 doors is typically a commercial mortgage.
Right. Commercial mortgages. And then it's the fact that you don't even have to qualify your
Building.
the building is the one that qualifies instead of you
Your
as an
personal.
employee.
Yeah.
So you don't even have to be employed.
I mean, technically, you don't even have to have a cent to your name. You
Like a
just have
single dollar,
you
yeah.
have to assemble a team.
You just have to assemble a team to acquire your property. And this is the knowledge.
This is
So
the
you're
knowledge.
so you're talking about you're talking with people who know about commercial mortgages. You're talking with people who know about commercial law, real estate law. You're talking with real estate individuals, real estate agents who only deal with commercial mortgages, who only deal with commercial buildings.
Mm, mm. And we're just talking about multifamily here. There's other parts of real estate like wholesaling and short-term rental, and there's other markets like the
U.S.
US, right? So the real estate knowledge, it's like learning a language. So you come to an institution like ours, and we're going to teach you how to speak a new language so that you can speak properly to the agents, the owners, and the other investors, partners that are seeking the same things. And then so you come here, you learn that knowledge so that you can speak. Shit. We're back. We're live. We missed a really good. We
I would. Do you know when we missed it?
No idea.
What did I press?
I don't know. Maybe when you cleaned it or something.
Okay.
Shoot. So we talked about the mindset. We talked about the knowledge. I don't think we captured the fact that the knowledge when you come here is learning a new language, and the language is a real estate language, usually linked to multifamily. Now there's different languages like short-term rentals, and there's languages like different markets like the U.S. So when you come here, you learn,
And there's wholesale.
and there's wholesale. There's many more.
Wholesale, you can generate capital without. You can get into the real estate game even if you don't have any money.
The same thing could be said about multifamily, but that's a
True.
more technical conversation.
True. It is a more
So
technical
once you have
conversation.
your mindset right, some people come here and they have the knowledge, Otto. They come from another organization
Yeah.
and they have the knowledge, but their mindset is incomplete.
Yeah.
So
And
they
I know
come
why.
here. You know why?
Yeah, because I've experienced that. I came from another organization,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and I was all over the place. I didn't
Uh-huh.
know exactly what I needed to do.
You didn't know what you didn't know, or you knew what you didn't know?
No, I didn't know
What
what
you
I
didn't.
didn't know.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay, okay.
I
So you
realized
came here and then you realized.
that there's a step-by-step process that you have to follow.
Mm, mm,
Some things they seem like they're too simple, too obvious, and that you don't need to do them,
mm.
but they are just as important as the most important thing that you can think of. But you have to follow each step one at a time. And what I found with Wealth Genius was that, I mean, first of all, I was open-minded and I was willing to follow the instructions step by step, and I followed the instructions step by step. So I did everything that I needed to do, regardless of whether I thought it was ridiculous or or not needed, or whether it made me uncomfortable or not, but I followed every single step. And now I realized, within 3 months, I realized that Everything is within me. That all I need to know is that I need to follow a specific process in order to be successful. And I didn't know that from other programs.
Okay. We think we need to reinvent the wheel, but we don't.
Yeah.
We just need to plug in. And some people come here from other places and they think they already know everything and they try to reinvent it, and it just makes it very painful, you know?
Yeah, so we have the mind,
Yeah,
we have the knowledge, and we have the action.
yeah.
The action makes us uncomfortable. I think that's the key
Mm.
to people not taking action. It's because it makes us uncomfortable. It's outside of our comfort zone.
Why?
Because I'm going to go back to the example that I gave you just a minute ago of me thinking that going to see a 12 unit made me think of myself as I was an imposter,
Mm.
that I wasn't capable of buying that building.
Mm.
But now I know that I was perfectly capable of buying that building, and something even bigger than that, because I had a network behind me that had the capacity, that has the capacity of funding the project for me. So 12
For
units is
us.
actually very small
Yeah.
for us. It could be 100 units. I mean, 3 months, I got 100 units in the contract, and I raised $4 million. There were people willing to give out, in general terms, combined $4 million for this project, only because the building itself made economic sense.
The
It
knowledge was there.
it provide the required return on investment to make sense to put your money there,
Mm.
as opposed to, say, the money markets, right? And there are tons of people that don't know where to put the money,
Mhm.
and they want to put it somewhere where it makes sense. And a real estate building makes so much sense because it's a hard asset, right? And you
Appreciating.
and it's appreciating, and it's not as volatile as the money markets,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
That's the experience I had,
That's a good word.
right?
Most people say risk, but I think volatility is a better word.
But here I am thinking that I couldn't even walk 12 units. Okay, that's the action part of it. Now, I, as a mindset,
Boss.
as a mindset student, and now I am a teacher because I want to teach this stuff to everyone who's willing to receive the information. I combine action with with mindset in a single piece. And that's the reason why I say that creating generational wealth in real estate requires 95% mindset and 5% strategy. That's my opinion. 5% strategy. Wealth Genius combines mindset, action, and sorry,
Mindset,
mindset,
knowledge.
knowledge, and action. So action is on this side, knowledge is in the middle, and mindset is right here. But me, I put the action on the mindset side because you need to fight your fears
Mm.
in order to take action.
Hmm.
That's the reason why I combine them together, and that's the reason why I said it takes 95% mindset.
Okay, that
What are
makes
your
sense.
thoughts about that?
No, it makes sense. It makes sense what you're saying. I always use the analogy of I always use the sex analogy, but I'll keep it PG for the audience here. If we compare real estate or anything really to, like, say, walking or driving a car, you can acquire the knowledge. You can read books on how to ride a car or how to walk, and until you actually do it, you might be an intellectual mind and an expert in the mechanics of how it works, but until you do it, you're not really like a full-blown expert. And imagine like never taking that first step or never driving a car and you're like, oh yeah, I know all about driving cars and Ferraris and vans and whatever, but and imagine someone says, okay, well show me how to drive a car, and you're like, I don't know, right? It's the same thing with real estate, and I'll tell you the secret why Wealth Genius is so powerful and uh, prominent. It's because we have a community
Oh my God, that's the
that
most important
that
part of the
that
puzzle.
encourages you to take the steps, because now you're not feeling like you're alone. You feel like you're part of a tribe, and even though not everybody, not every 1,000 member is going to be part of your deal, everybody's like rooting for you. You know, everybody's like,
True.
oh, you can do it, how can I help, and you got this, and you're gonna go, let's go. And you know, it really becomes like a team sport. And imagine like you're taking your first step, and it's almost like how your parents were like, oh come on Otto, come on, you can do it. And then Otto, you fell, and then maybe you cried a little bit, maybe you didn't, and they're like, get back up, get back up. And it's like, oh my god. And then the baby, and you know, they always say the first step is the hardest. Getting your first property is the hardest. Making your first million is the hardest. But then once you learn how to walk or drive a car, do you ever drive a car and you're
It
like,
just becomes a habit.
I don't even remember driving there. I just showed up, because your mind is on autopilot, and
Exactly.
you're driving the car, and you're just like automatically doing what you need to do.
Exactly.
It become Real estate becomes like a language that you learn how to speak automagically,
Automatically, I love that word.
right?
Automagically.
But OTTO magically.
OTTO.
I'm so goofy, man.
No, I love it. And guess what?
Mm.
So I think we did mention to everybody that we are in Calgary for an event, right?
Yes,
It's cash flow,
it's a cash flow. It's an
Investor Fest,
investor fest, and we're gonna
Investor
talk
Fest.
about a few topics, a few real estate type of modalities. What would you call them? Real estate, like
Yeah,
domains.
we're gonna talk about wholesale,
Yep.
and we have special guests coming.
I think USA. We're gonna talk about.
Boyden,
We're gonna learn about how to start your own mutual fund trust.
a mutual funds trust.
Bro, come on.
A mutual fund trust.
Here you go. Here's a recipe.
Diana Boyden.
Boyden.
Diana
Awesome.
Boyden.
Awesome.
Awesome lady.
Awesome.
I've met her.
Yeah.
Right? You meet these kind of people in these networks.
Rock stars.
And Thea Bellinor. And I think we have Tomas Lorini, How to Invest in the United States for Canadians. But I think that works also. You know, some people in my audience are all over the place. They're in Southeast Asia, in Brazil, and Europe. So I'm thinking that this applies to them as well, because it's outside of the United States. Anybody who wants to invest in the United States could actually talk to like an individual like Thomas Lorini.
And yeah, they might say like, how do I invest in the
How do I
United
invest in the
States?
US? Although I would probably say, okay, you know what? Maybe think about investing in the Canada first, because Canada is an amazing market.
It is. It is. There's nothing wrong with it.
Right?
As much as people will say, oh, the US is better than Canada, they're different.
It's a different story.
You know, and some people might say, well, how do I invest in the United States? Well, you can leverage something like an MFT, a mutual fund trust, like Diana,
Like Dana Boyd is doing.
and
Yeah.
leverage that to get you there.
Yeah, I guess at the end of it all, it would require, I guess, a call to understand more about Canada and more about the US and what are the difference about the two.
But if someone's listening to this in Southeast Asia or in Brazil and they want to invest in Canada or the US, we have the tools, we have the mechanics
Yeah.
to help them participate.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if we mentioned this, but because we are in Calgary,
Mm.
this is where I first got started.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Because when I joined the whole educational thing,
Yes, yes.
so here's the thing. I learned that in order to be successful in anything that you want, you need some knowledge. You need some kind of education. Getting a maybe looking for a mentor or a coach, somebody to help you. And I did. And I got the education. I had absolutely no clue. Okay. If it wasn't for that, thanks to that I should say,
Mm.
I partnered up with my sister and
Mm.
we were able to acquire our first couple of properties here and there. Okay.
Why Calgary?
So this was interesting because we found an individual who's a genius at analyzing markets. And this was just at the beginning of COVID. And he was a genius. And I'm saying he's a genius because he told me, based on what I wanted to do, he told me, okay, I think you should invest in New Brunswick. And I didn't do it. Then he told me to go to Windsor, and I didn't do it. Then he told me to go to London, and I didn't do it. And now I see that all these markets have spiked. But he also told me, okay, then now you should go to Calgary, then get this type of property. At that time, then I decided to take action. I said to myself, okay, that's it. I'm not going to think about it anymore. I'm going to take action and I'm going to buy this property. And I did. And guess what? It was the best investment, one of the best investments that I've ever done in my life. This thing is just cash flowing like crazy. So this is the first time ever since we acquired this property,
Oh
my
God.
sister and I, that I'm going to be able to see this
Wow.
property on my own. And Luis and I, we're going to go and look at it and we're going to show you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. So let's end this right now and then we're going to go back to another video where we're going to be at that property and we're going to talk about it. You know what? I'm actually looking forward to hearing what this gentleman has to say about it because it's a strategy. It's not the strategy that I follow today. I follow multifamily, and in a way, that property is multifamily, but
Not in the
it's
traditional
not
sense.
the type of multifamily that I would recommend.
Okay,
Okay?
let's go.
So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to get your opinion. We're going to look at the property. I don't even know what it looks like right now. We are relying
I hope it's
on...
still there.
I know. You know what I'm relying on? I'm relying on what the property manager has told me until today.
We're gonna go verify. We're gonna go validate.
All right, everybody. I'm going to talk to you very soon. Say goodbye to Luis. See, now it's recording, and I'm with Luis, and we're gonna go look at my first ever,
We're gonna go look at it.
look at my first ever property. And,
Amazing.
okay, so we're gonna leave it at that for now, and we'll see you soon. Mire, Felson, esta es la